You're listening to episode 750 of the Father Bill's podcast. Welcome back. This week's episode is entitled Seed Sown, given on the 15th Sunday in Ordinary Time, 2020. As we just heard in the gospel, seed is thrown to the ground. Some was on a path, some on rocky ground, some among thorns, and finally some on rich soil. Each of these illustrate and should challenge us to look at ourselves and ask some questions. And so I ask myself these. Is my life open to God's word and presence? Or have I filled my life with other things that distract me? Do I tend to the gift of faith by prayer, reading the scriptures, and frequent participation in the sacraments that Jesus gave me? Or is the sum of all my spiritual activities during the week my attendance at Mass simply because it's an obligation? Do I study or contemplate God's truth? Do I share what God is doing in my life with others? Or am I gullible to the conspiracy theories and the deconstructionist ideologies of our culture? Have I, after receiving the grace or insight into God's amazing love, given thanks and nurture my receptivity to his love? Or do I take it for granted? And when trouble or tragedy comes my way, the last thing I do is seek out God or read my Bible or seek out another faithful Catholic, or I stop going to Mass? Have I trimmed or pruned my life of power, possessions, wealth, addictions, or disordered affections? Or have I become overwhelmed by worry and I've become a slave to despair? The images that Jesus gave us allows me to imagine many scenarios in which I might live. All of us are sinners. All of us have our lives that we stumble. Think of the different soils that were described, the different grounds that were spoken by Jesus. And we have a potential of producing much fruit for God's kingdom. My question to myself is, am I receptive? Am I available? I hope so. Thank you again for listening to this episode of the Father Bill's podcast. As always, I encourage you to go to my website, fatherbill.org. That's FRBILL.org. And there you can send me some comments or questions, either right from the website, or you can go to my social media connections like Facebook and Twitter, etc. In the meantime, may God bless you and have a great week. Stay safe. Bye-bye.